This is Enter the Gungeon, a game regarded as one of the hardest out there. But if I want to be one of the best roguelike players, I should be able to beat the hardest games in one sitting with zero experience. So I decided to put that to the test. I glued myself to my chair until I beat Enter the Gungeon. But I'm not totally inexperienced. I've 100% at games like Hades, Risk of Rain 2, and Neon White. All games which I thought were difficult. Turns out, my sense of difficulty was very skewed, because Gungeon was unlike anything I've ever played before. But I didn't know that yet. Honestly, I think I can finish this in an hour. What the f***? Help! If that looked confusing, don't worry. Let me quickly explain the gist of the game for you. Gungeon is a roguelike, where you fight different enemies every time you enter a new room, until you reach the end. All you really need to pay attention to is my health at the top right, and then my character here needs to avoid projectiles and enemies to survive. But the first floor was a breeze. I faced off against the Gatling Gull, and frat boy turned pigeon furry. His years of fraternity paid off, because he rained out his massive load of missiles and bullets to try to kill me. Not anything else, of course. But it didn't matter. They were super simple to dodge. So I ended up beating him without losing a single heart, and I was rewarded for it. Because if you manage to beat any boss without taking damage, you're given an extra heart. It's just another way the game shows you that skill is more important than luck. But that's not all you get. At the end of each floor, you're also given a new gun. This is essentially the bread and butter of the game. It's literally in the name. But take everything you know about guns and throw them out the window, because in Gungeon, anything can be a gun. It ranges from letters on a keyboard to literal solar systems. After beating Mr. Frat Pigeon, I happened to get a crown which shoots bullets in 8 different directions. So with the help of my new weapons, I was making quick work of floor 2. What the fuck? There's a mage, he's running! Get back here! Howard? With how things were going, I couldn't help but feel myself, feeling a little confident. It was surprisingly easy. That was until I came across this weird chest called the Muncher. This dude is gluttony incarnate. He needs to eat 2 of your weapons, and in return, he'll give you 1 random one. But I thought I could get something 10 times better. But that's what most gamblers say, so maybe I am the problem. Anyways, I was pretty salty. Oh my god, I can't believe I sold my gun. But still, I managed to reach the second boss without taking too much damage, where I met the Amoconda. Okay, if this is level 2 boss, and I'm already feeling overwhelmed, it's like, am I even ready for the lower levels? Oh my god, it's over. It's too much! I can't! I shouldn't have never given away my guns. Oh, I'm out of blanks as well. It's over. Oh my god. Oh my... But I have no HP left. I barely managed to beat him. It left me with only half a heart. But thankfully, it did drop a lot of health packs. Maybe the game pitied me, gave me a freebie, but I was able to climb all the way back to 3 hearts. But in an unfortunate stroke of luck, right after entering the 3rd floor, I lost half of my HP to a single enemy. Oh my god. Why does a regular enemy have like boss attacks? It's undodgeable. I need HP. ASAP. In the room right after that, I encountered a chimera-looking creature. What the... Oh yeah, they can also turn invisible. So when I initially thought there were only 2 of them in there, it turns out there ended up being a 3rd, and... No way! I genuinely thought there might have been the smallest, tiniest chance that I beat the game on my first try. But I honestly wasn't expecting it, so I jumped right into my second attempt. The first floor boss is always super easy, so I took him out without breaking a sweat. But the second floor boss was straight out of Dungeons and Dragons, or Baldur's Gate if you think D&D is cringe or whatever. The Beholster. This freak uses 6 different tentacles with a different gun in each hand. As you can guess, that means he has tons of different moves that all require a different skill set. Some of these moves are literally undodgeable, unless you do these 2 things. I haven't told you yet, but Enter the Gungeon has 2 core mechanics that exist to keep you alive. The first are blanks. You can see how many I have right here. And arguably, they're more important than health, because when you use a blank, you erase every single bullet in that room. So if you're ever in a tight spot, or you know for sure you're gonna get hit, then you can quickly use one of these as a get out of jail free card. The other mechanic is dodging. This is the hardest skill to master in the game. Whenever you dodge, you're completely invulnerable to all damage, but you could end up rolling into more bullets. Dodging is hands down the most important skill in the game. Without it, the game would literally be impossible to beat. So using both skills, I took down the Beholster, and he gave me a pretty special gun, the Beehive. This might be a pretty niche reference, but do you know those bee nades from Terraria? If you don't, it's a super OP grenade that spawns a bunch of bees. They're normally used to beat ginormous bosses, especially the Wall of Flesh. It's kind of poetic. A single bee would be too weak to do any damage, but a swarm has the potential to take down even the mightiest of foes. If you haven't caught on, I am glazing it, because in retrospect, it's a pretty cheesy way to win. The beehive takes away all the stress of precise aiming, because the bees will always target the nearest enemy. So all you really have to worry about is dodging bullets. But you can't just whip out your guns all willy-nilly. No, no, no. Each gun has a certain amount of ammo, and when that runs out, that gun becomes as useless as your ranked teammates. I actually got to the boss room pretty quickly, lucky to avoid any other weird enemies. But when the battle commenced, I did nothing but run around like Courage the Cowardly Dog and spam bees. Slowly but surely, I chipped away at the boss's health until...
I'm out of bees. My bees are gone.
But it didn't matter. The bees carried me so hard that I was able to blast him with my cannon to fully finish him off.
Just one more shot. Bang! Holy.
I also managed to beat him without taking damage, so I got another extra heart.
Okay.
That means I was going to the 4th floor with 5 hearts. But the enemies kept on getting harder and harder. They were literally mini-bosses. There was a skeleton that shot massive lasers.
Why am I taking so much damage? Oh my god, this guy's a freak of nature.
And a gun reaper who was completely immune to damage.
What in the... I'm the gun reaper. Oh my god. I'm taking way too much damage.
The combination of the two completely depleted my health, so I had to fight a boss that I've never seen before without the luxury of making mistakes.
Oh, I don't want to do another run. I want to win. Whoa. This doesn't seem fair. Oh my god, I can't believe I just took damage with that. I'm so scared. It's over. No way! Fuck! Oh my god.
This honestly hit me pretty hard. Truly in my heart of hearts, I thought I could beat the game within this attempt. But, I mean, I reached the 4th level in my 2nd attempt, so surely, by the next attempt, I'll get to floor 5, right?
No fucking way! No! No, what? Oh, I can't.
I basically didn't make any progress for 3 whole hours. I was a slug surrounded by salt. With every failed attempt, I slumped deeper and deeper into my chair. Because the part I haven't mentioned yet is that this is just the beginning. See, this whole week, I challenged myself to play a new game every day, each one harder than the last. Monday was for this game, which I assumed would be the easiest. But if this is how things are going, in what universe could I keep my sanity trying to beat Spelunky, Sifu, or even Elden Ring in only 24 hours, no less? So subscribe if you want to see how badly I lose my mind playing those games. Even though I was losing hope, I kept on trying until I got this run. I got extremely lucky early on and banked a literal railgun. It had a long charge up, but when it shoots, it shoots. So I made that annoying Amoconda my dog and took him out. Everything that had me sweating before looked like ants when I used my railgun. Even those freaky chimera things, who became the bane of my existence, were getting one-tapped. I felt unstoppable. So I made quick work of floors 1, 2, and 3, beating each boss in under 40 seconds. I was riding a high. It's like when people are more confident around their friends. Except my friend was the railgun, as lonely as that sounds. But I entered the 4th chamber with nothing but moxie. This might have been the filter that strained me out for the past 4 hours, but things were different now. But luck was truly on my side this run, because I happened to find 2 nurses who were willing to give me some treatment. I thought they were gonna do something nice, but they fucking smashed glass over my head. But it did regenerate all my health, so thank you, I guess? So enter the fourth boss ready to— what is that? I was just talking about the wall of flesh, but I did not expect to see it here. I started panicking because I didn't know taking too long to beat him would literally end the run. But look, I am not gonna sugarcoat it. The only reason why I got by this fight is because of the nurses who rejuvenated me. Without their help, I would have lost 100%. So after 4 long hours of struggling, I've made it to the final floor. Chamber 5, the Forge. If floor 4 was a filter that constantly held me back, then floor 5 was the final test that uses everything I've faced up until now, but cranks it to 11. I cautiously cleared each room until I got to this shrine. This would completely replenish all my ammo, for what I thought was no cost. But that was a big mistake. There's actually something the game hides from you, which I've secretly activated. Not just once, but twice. I was slowly accumulating a curse. When you're cursed, enemies are 2 times stronger, shoot faster, and have more health. So I got cursed from praying to the shrine, but what else cursed me? Earlier in the run, I broke a mirror, which gave me a weapon. And yeah, I know.
Don't tap the glass.
But I did anyway. I would quickly come to regret that, because not only do all these enemies have insane buffs, but I'll come to find out that the final boss also gets stronger. I am screwed. I reached the final boss barely scraping by, where I'm at face to face with the High Dragon. I can only afford to get hit once before I die. So with a mighty roar, the battle began.
No way, I died! Fuck, dude.
This was a punch to the gut. I was frustrated, upset. I really wanted to win. But quickly, I came to a realization that I wasn't actually improving, but instead, I was just getting lucky. The only reason why I made it so far in the last run were because the guns were either Giga OP or cheesy, both requiring no skill. But I said earlier that this game requires skill. You can't just get lucky. I failed miserably, time after time after time. Though, most importantly, I allowed luck to carry me. But that is not how I want to win. If I want to be the best, then I have to reach the top even when the odds are completely stacked against me. So I had to rethink the way I was playing. Instead of trying to land every single shot, I started focusing on myself. Because even if I was missing, as long as I'm alive, I will still be doing damage. For the next 2 hours, I would give it my all to practicing, learning from mistakes, and evolving. Every single run, I consistently got to the later floors, even without taking damage. But time was running out. I said earlier I only have a day to beat this, and I started pretty late, so it was already 10:30. At most, I have 2 potential runs left. I can't afford to mess up anymore. I had to lock in. Instead of wasting opportunities like I did before, I won't take them for granted and fail again. I've improved, and I'm ready to show it. First floor boss, hitless. Second floor boss, no different. The giant tank that I ran away from earlier, I was facing head on. And just like the first 2 bosses, I bobbed and weaved between every bullet without losing a single heart. Third floor boss, hitless. The fourth floor was like second nature to me now, and I memorized the attack patterns for almost every single enemy. But during this run, something special happened. I collected specific guns that combine with each other, unlocking synergies. Gungeon is giving me another opportunity right before my time runs out. I won't let it go to waste. The fourth floor boss, the Killer Pillars. Jokes and script aside, I despise this boss. It didn't matter how long I played for. This guy can rot in hell. But I also took him out, so it was only a matter of time before I reached the Dragon's Den, for possibly the last time. Even with my hands shaking, there was this strange confidence. The past 8 hours hadn't gone to waste. I knew everything was riding on this, because there's absolutely no way I get another run like this. It's really do or die.
Oh my god. No phase 2? Holy shit, I did it! Oh my god! Oh my god, I fucking did it! After 8.5 hours of non-stop grinding, I fucking did it.
Thank you so much for joining me on this ride. Take care of yourself, and I really hope to see you next time. Have a good one.